Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, guys. AROD Locks here. This is going to be Thursday night football. We got Packers and Lions. This is going to be probably the biggest game in the NFC this football season during the regular season. This game is huge. NFC North matchup. Both teams competing for a playoff spot. Both teams I think are going to get in, obviously, into the playoffs. They're both killing it this year. But this is a big one for who wins that division and who potentially could get a bye in the first round of the NFC playoffs. But welcome back to the channel. Before I get going, guys, drop a like on this video, please. It'll push my algorithm a little bit, get more people involved, grow our community. It's all about us, right? I mean, yes, I'm the one making the videos, but it's for us, this whole community. So dropping a like will push my video out to more people. We'll get more people in our community, all you guys that are in the free pick subscription and in on the Discord. It'll just build that for us, so I'll have more people to bounce picks off of, more people to talk with in that Discord channel. But let's get right into the picks, guys. Packers are sitting at 9-3. Lions are sitting at 11-1. Before I move on any further, if you're new to this channel and you don't really know what we're doing here, I'm going to go over the spread, the money line, and the over-under. Look at where the lines are at now. Look at where they opened. See how that line is moving. We're also going to go over the public betting, where the money's at and where the bet percentage is at. Without further ado, the spread opened up at plus 2.5 for the Packers. Now we're sitting at plus 3.5. Odds have changed a little bit. Minus 105 odds for the Packers to cover 2.5. Minus 118 odds now for them to cover 3.5. So they're getting, it's more likely that they're going to cover that 3.5 than the 2.5. Obviously, it's a bigger point spread, right? And then on the other side, Lions opened up at minus 2.5, obviously, and Detroit sits at minus 3.5 now. Odds are closing in a little bit for them. Minus 115 is what it opened at. Minus 105 odds now. So books are saying it's more likely, the implied probability is saying it's more likely for the Packers to cover this spread than the Lions. Let's take a look at where this money's at. Pretty freaking even, right? You got 46% of public bets on the Packers, 54% on the Lions. Money, 45% of money is on the Packers, 55% on the Lions. So slight edge to the Lions on the money. I'm surprised it actually moved a point with pretty even money. So think about what that tells you. Kind of tells you the public is about 50-50, but the sharps might be leaning Lions a little bit more than the Packers, especially at that 2.5 point spread. If you can buy it back to 2.5, that might be a decent play. I'm not saying that's what I'm doing yet. I'm going to watch these lines a little bit more. We're only on Tuesday right now. It's Tuesday night. I'm recording this video. I'm going to watch these lines move a little bit more and see when the best time to strike is. And hopefully we'll get a good pick out to the premium members and the VIPs. Let's look at the money line now. Opened up at plus 120 for the Packers, sitting at plus 151 now. Minus 142 is what it opened at for the Lions. Now it's sitting at minus 181. If you guys don't know what that means, basically just means that the Lions are the favorite, the Packers are the underdog. Bet $181 to win $100 on the Lions. Bet $100 to win $151 on the Packers. So obviously you win more money here if you bet on the Packers, but the odds are saying the Lions are more likely to win this game. But not by a ton. It's really not by a ton. Looking at where the money's at and the bets are at for the public, only 14% of the people think the Packers can win this game. 86% on the Lions, 27% of the money on the Packers, 73% of the money on the Lions. So a lot more money on the Lions to win this game outright and cover that money line pick than on the spread. You guys can see I already went over it. The money is pretty even on the spread, but the Lions are getting a ton of love from the public on the money line here. So take that as you will. Bet accordingly. This video here is to give you guys the information on these main plays. I don't actually just give picks for the spread money line over under. I do give out picks for that, but I send those to my premium members. Okay, I don't just tell you guys exactly what I'm doing on this channel here. Sometimes I do. I'll just give you guys a little bit of insight on what I like and where I'm kind of leaning. But a lot of the time when I'm recording this video, I don't know what I'm doing yet because I record these 3-4 days in advance. Right now, this is actually only 2 days this week. I've been busy. I went to the Bronco game last night, so I didn't have a chance to put this video out last night. So that's why I'm doing it tonight. Now looking at the over-under. Opened up at 48. Now it's at 51.5. That's a 3.5 point bump up on the over. So this line is moving a little bit more than the spread and the money line are moving. So that's 3.5 points. Minus 110 odds either way. That stayed the same on the odds. But let's look at the money here. Typically, you see the public on the over. based on this moving up 3.5 points, I would think there's a lot more than 64% of public money on the over. Right now it's 64% over, 36% under, 56% of the bets are on the over, 44% on the under, with only 64% hitting one side. It is a little bit surprising that this jumped 3.5 points. Sometimes we see more money on the over and it doesn't move as far. So that's one to keep in mind. Look at that over under. In this one, you can kind of see a little bit more clearly what the sharp bettors are doing. And guys, they're pretty spot on. The sharp books and the bettors are pretty spot on with what they're doing. Typically, everybody misses bets, right? That's why they call it a bet. It's not a guaranteed win ever. But that's your betting lines, your main betting lines, guys. The spread, money line, over, under. Obviously, with most of these books, you can take alternate lines. I do that quite a bit myself. I take alternate lines. Sometimes I'll take big alt lines and what's called a teaser, and I'll put a couple teaser picks together or 3 teaser picks together. Rarely do I do a 4-pick teaser, but this past weekend I loved a 4-pointer. We actually put in a 4-pick teaser. We put that in. We cashed on it on Sunday in the NFL. So sometimes it is a good play, but only on the ones that I love will I actually do it that many picks, because you guys know parlays are not the way to consistently win in sports betting. It's all about finding the right lines on these straight bets and striking on those straight bets and hitting those ones. That's how you slowly grow the bankroll. Okay, parlays long term are not going to do it. Yes, it is fun to be a degenerate and throw a plus 16,000 parlay together, and when you hit that, it is exhilarating. But don't do that as your sports betting. If you're trying to actually be a profitable bettor, if you're just doing it for fun, sure, do whatever you're going to do with your big parlays. But if you want to be a profitable, successful sports bettor, stay away from that. Let's move into the player props now. I got 3 picks for you guys that I like, starting off with Amon-Ra St. Brown here. This one is one that I think is going to be a big one for us. Obviously, a touchdown prop can be a big win because they have to get in the freaking end zone. It's not like you can get 4 or 5 catches and help your team move the ball down the field. Only one guy scores at the end of each drive. So it's rare. There's maybe 3 or 4 touchdowns on average across the league. Don't quote me on that. I'm just kind of throwing out spitballing numbers here. But most teams aren't going to score 6, 7 touchdowns in a game. So to get a touchdown is rare. But Amon-Ra St. Brown did it every single game until the last 2 weeks. Okay, these last 2 weeks, he obviously had down games, if you would call it down games for Amon-Ra St. Brown. If you have him in fantasy, he still did pretty decent. But as far as scoring touchdowns, he had down games. He didn't get in the end zone. That is rare for him. Look at this graph. This shows his season this year. This is the last 10 games this year, so it doesn't show the very first game. Every single game, he's in the end zone until the Indy-Chicago game. I think he's getting in the end zone again this week, just based on his season. Okay, last 5 games, he's in the end zone 60% of the time. This season, he's been in the end zone 67% of games. It's more likely he's going to get in than he's not. We're just trying to get an edge over the books. 67% is huge. I'm trying to get at least 55% and up when I'm placing these player prop bets. 67% is even bigger. Count on Amon-Ra St. Brown in the end zone this weekend. Sorry, not this weekend. It's actually Thursday. Count on him getting in that end zone. Let's go. Tim Patrick's my next pick. His line's set at 1.5 receptions. We're on the receptions line here. We're going to take the over at 1.5. Just look at this graph right here. I'm mainly focusing on these last 3 games. Yes, I look at the entire season. It gives you a kind of a bigger picture of his trends and what he's doing with this football team. But these last 3 games especially, he's been getting more targets and more catches. They're starting to involve him more in this offense. 3 catches against Jacksonville, 4 catches against Indy, 2 catches against Chicago last week on Thanksgiving. 1.5 is a low number for him, in my humble opinion. I think he's going to go over this. Look at all these games that he's had at least 2 catches. All but 3 games this year, he's had at least 2 catches. That's all we need. I don't care if he goes out and has a 6-catch game, a 5-catch game. Give me 2, get us a win. Tim Patrick on the over, 1.5 receptions. Then we're going to go Jaden Reed down here, also on the receptions line. His line here is set at 3.5. This one, we're hitting the over as well. Last week, we actually took the under at 4.5, and we hit that one. He got 3 receptions last week. Looking at his recent trends, not looking good, right? The last 5 games, he's only gone over this once. First few games of the season, all 4 of the first 4 games, he went over it. So if you're thinking your logic doesn't make sense, Rod, you're taking Tim Patrick on the over based on the last 5 games, and Jaden Reed taking the over in his last 5 games look like shit. Well, you're probably right, but here's a key metric that I'm looking at. The Lions are ranked 32nd in the NFL in giving up receptions to receivers. So they give up completions. And Jordan Love, he's that dude. If you hate the Packers, I'm sorry, but Jordan Love is, as the kids say nowadays, he's him. Jordan Love's legit. That dude can sling the rock. And Jaden Reed is a big playmaker for this offense. Yes, they have weapons all over the place. They got Jaden Reed, they got Dontavian Wicks, they got Christian Watson, Tucker Kraft. When Luke Musgrave's healthy, they got him, but obviously he's not playing this week, so that's irrelevant. But they do have weapons all over the place. So that's the only thing that's scary about this pick is who's going to be the guy in Green Bay this week. Is it going to be Jaden Reed? Is it going to be Christian Watson? We don't know who it's going to be week by week, but based on the fact that the Lions are 32nd in giving up receptions and Jordan Love slings the rock around, I think Jaden Reed's going over this. Take him on the over at 3.5 receptions. That's what I'm doing at least. Tail if you want. Don't tail if you don't want. If you think these picks suck, let me know. If you like them, let me know. I like to see in the comments who's tailing these picks. What do you guys think? Are you taking all 3 of these? Are you just going to pair 2 of them together? Are you just going to do one on a straight bet? Let me know. I'm putting these in on Sleeper. There's your 3 picks right there. Outlier, this website that I use to get all my data, they actually don't show Sleeper picks on here, so it won't show you it right here, but I'm using Sleeper. If you guys don't have the app yet, promo code AROD, that gets you up to a $1,500 deposit right now. It's a special that Sleeper's got going. They've actually been doing it for about 3 weeks now. Way longer than I thought they would be doing this. Basically, when Sleeper told me they're doing a $1,500 deposit match, it was kind of indefinite. They could take it away tomorrow. They could take it away today before I'm done with this video. I don't know. I'm sure they're going to give me a warning before they take it away, but I'm just saying they could take that away and go back to the $100 deposit match. So if you're a big bettor and you're going to deposit $500, $1,000, even $1,500 into a sports betting app, or in this case a daily fantasy sports app because you can't call it sports betting, do it. Now is the best time to do it. Up to $1,500 in a deposit match is crazy. No other app has that kind of deposit match in the daily fantasy sports realm of things. So if that's something that you're interested in getting a deposit match, now's a great time to do it. Like I said, code AROD down here at the bottom of the screen. That gets you that deposit match. If you're in a state that doesn't allow DFS, but you can do it on a sports book. I also love to use REBET. REBET's legal in 45 states. It was legal in 47 states. There's a couple states that are kind of up in the air right now, going through some hearings on whether or not it should be legal from what I've been hearing. Don't quote me on that, just kind of what I've been hearing. I do know that 2 states were dropped, and it's 45 legal states now. So check it out if you're in one of those states that allow sports books or don't allow sports books. Look into REBET. You might be able to get it. Code AROD on that as well. That's a $100 deposit match. But there's your picks, guys. Tim Patrick over 1.5 receptions. Amon-Ra St. Brown to get a tutty, and Jaden Reed over 3.5 receptions. Let me know what you guys think of this. If you guys think of those picks and then these main betting lines. I'll put this right here so you can screenshot it if you like, so you can see where the line has moved. Go ahead and screenshot that, and then I'm going to scroll down a little bit. You can see where the money's at. Screenshot that if you like this information and want to place your bets based on this information here. I'm just giving it to you so you guys can make educated, smart bets. That's all I got for you guys. Thank you so much for watching and coming back to the channel. If you're new, hope you guys liked what you saw. If you did, hit that subscribe button down below. Join our community. My free picks and VIP picks are down here in the description. Use code BLACK on the season pass for NFL and college football. It's you're going to get a huge deal. Just use code BLACK, 60% off for the rest of the football season. Every single pick I give out, every football pick at least, will be in that package. But if not, join in the freeze. It's completely free. You guys get access to the Discord. Thank you all for watching. I'll see y'all next time. Let me know who you got in the comments. Packers, Lions, let's go. Big time football coming up. Playoff implications on the line as we near the playoffs, end of the season. Have a good night.